My name is Jazz Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Fabric 2. Welcome to this video. Is about acting. So I will try to keep it PG-13. If you are under 14 or 15, you probably should watch something else. But if you want to know about acting and how hard this business is to break into, then you need to keep your ass right here because I'm going to level it to you. There are many factors in acting. Alright, let's get that out the way right now. There are many factors in acting. Location is a very important factor because there is a studio here in America, in Virginia, that I couldn't get arrested getting a job with. So I'm not going to promote them, but they know who they are. Now, the funny thing about that is, I went to school for acting in the 90s. Can't get arrested getting a job. I've gone to multiple casting calls and I've gotten the same BS from them. And that BS is this: Mr. Williams, you're not a bad looking guy, but you're not what we're looking for. And I have made videos about this. If you go through my channel of Kung Fu Fabric 2, you're bound to find the video about the imaginary list of people that they are looking for, which is why when they give you a casting call, they don't reject you until you get there. Because they have a list of people in which they are looking for, and if your facial structure or your body structure does not fit that role, shoo. That's pretty much how that works. So acting, no matter how skillful you are, or how skillful you think you are, a lot of it is pure D fucking luck. In fact, the majority of it is pure D fucking luck. Now, there are many ways to get into this venture. We will exclude the X-rated ways because a lot of porn stars do go into acting. I will leave that right there. I won't touch any more of that. But if you Google a certain name or two that's porn stars and they've been in live and regular movies, and you'll know who they are when you Google them to see what else they've done besides whatever normal movie you've seen them in. Some of them have come through porn. Alright? I'm really not trying to go that route. However, if there's a small chance that I can get that route going, then that may be my way in. It's not the route that I would like to take, but, you know, there are many doors, and not all of them are wide open doors. Not all of them are even great doors. But you'd be surprised at where certain people start from and where they land. Alright? And if that's what I gotta do to make this happen, I'm more than willing to do that. But we'll leave that section right there. There are now so many different avenues to get your career off the ground that we can do that. Sadly, this one here has not been working for me. Now, a lot of things that have gone wrong for me in acting has been due to lack of knowledge. Alright, so first, let me give you your very first acting lesson. It's the most important lesson that you will have to learn. You will have to accept it, and you will never like it, but here's the 100% truth. You're going to hear this a lot. No. Not K-N-O-W. Not that no. No as in N-O. That's the no you're going to hear for a majority of your attempting to get into this business. And not only have I heard no over 100,000 times, I have been told I'm not what you're looking for. It has nothing to do with my height. And I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with my ethnicity, which they're not sure what the hell I am, so they don't have a role written for me, which is why when I make my YouTube films, the roles are written mostly for me, so that I can have the aspects of being partially Cherokee Indian, partially black, and partially white. So all my characters are mixed with them or of some other Asian ethnicity in which I fit. Now, here's the thing about acting. There's a guy that I follow on YouTube. I'm not giving his name out, but he knows who I'm talking about because he's probably going to reject me after this. But he's always talking about how certain token characters have been changed for diversity and representation. Alright? I'm going to leave it right there because he does make fair points. But he is also not a person who is mixed like me trying to break into this business. I'm 45 years old. I've been trying to break into this business since I was 27. And when that studio came to Virginia, I thought that that was going to be my golden opportunity, and the only opportunity I got from that studio was The Finger. I made my first movie called Fallen Dragons. You will probably never see it until I can find it and put it up right here. But in that movie, I did what I had to do. I only could get 7 people. I needed 14. So let me go with this real quick. When you're making a movie, there are some very important aspects that you must know. Sometimes improvisation beats the script, because sometimes improving is a lot better when it's fresh. I learned that from my first acting teacher in CHS. I will leave her name off. I learned that from my second actor teacher at Piedmont. I will leave his name off. Sometimes improving, it just works. So if the script is good but it doesn't translate, improving is a thing. I'm an improving acting specialist. If you give me some shit that sounds like busted ass when it comes out my mouth, then I probably shouldn't say that when we start rolling. You know. Now, camera angles are important, and you're going to need to know camera angles, because depending on what your film is, when I film, I usually film with 2 or 3 cameras so that we get all the best angles. I film in a triumvirate so that we can get all the best angles, and we'll be able to pick the best scenes out of that. Now, sometimes that works, sometimes it does not. So you have to pick what scenes work best with what you have. But if you film one scene 3 times from 3 different angles, you have a better chance of getting better footage if you can keep people out of the camera range. Which some of my films, when I get them edited, you will find out what I mean, because they're good scenes, but oops, somebody stepped in the frame. Yeah, and I'm only human, so it does happen. It did not happen in Fallen Dragons. It did happen in The Path of Ascension, and it did happen in The Guardians of the Earth, which is in somebody's dresser drawer somewhere in Alabama. I really wish they'd send that back to 512 Rougemont. I know they're not watching, but no, couldn't hurt to put my address out there so that someone could find it and send it back to me, so that I don't have to comb through all these tapes this summer to try to find the damn thing. Anyway, because it's also going to be hard for me to put everything back together the way I had it. Plus, I'm missing some footage because somebody recorded over our best stuff because they didn't fast forward back to the end of that shot. That being said, moving on. Another thing you have to understand about acting now, there's so many different venues. You have YouTube, you have Hulu, you have Netflix, you have all the people who I need a job from that I can't contact because I don't have any address or information to get to them. And they're definitely not watching me on YouTube, and YouTube isn't helping me with any kind of ideas or sending me information on, hey, maybe if you contact this person or maybe if you contact that person. I'm not getting any of that. Would be great though, but networking through YouTube is not working because I have 40 some odd followers, and I thank you all very much for following me, but you know, you need to get your friends following me and get their friends following me. Y'all need to hype me up, alright, so I can deliver. You know, and if you've seen some of my, just hype up the Kung Fu videos that I posted. At least hype that shit up. You ain't gotta hype up none of these talking videos because they don't really count. But the videos where I'm mixing it up, hype them up. Even if they suck, just hype them up so that people will actually like me. Okay? That's like me begging you to help me out. And I am literally begging you to help me out. But I will tell you this, because I was talking to my bro's father today at the cookout. Shout out to him and his family and his son who just graduated. The thing when you go into school for these things, the curriculums really got to get changed. Alright? If I'm going to school for acting, I shouldn't have to learn anything but acting. I should learn how to handle the word no very well. I should learn camera angles, spotlights, theater, stage, TV, the difference between the type of actings. So let me break that down for you. See, when you're making a movie or a TV show, the people behind the scenes are your best friends. They're the people who are editing. They're the people who are putting it together. They're the people who are making sure that you look good to all of us. Those are the people who are very, very rarely awarded anything. So pay homage to them because they deserve a hand because they make you look good. They take the best shots, the best angles, and not just the director, but the editors are the ones that are slapping the film together and making it look great and making you look like a superstar. Without them, no one will know who the hell you are. They also put the blooper accounts together. But anyway, you need to be taught the difference between theater. What light beyond what window breaks? It is I, Romeo, and she's Juliet, the sun. Okay, clearly, I don't do Shakespeare. What fools these mortals be. Well, let me tone the voice down. Or up. What fools these mortals be. 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 That would be Puck from A Midsummer Night's Dream, where they're all gods and things like Oberon and things like that, so your ethnicity doesn't really fucking matter. And most of the times you'll probably be in prosthetic makeup, so you'll be the guy that looks like a jackass, or you'll be a little flower nymph, or something sexy if you're a chick. I don't have boobs, so that's not going to work for me. I don't think there's any male flower nymphs or any of that stuff. I'll probably be that guy with the horns on his feet, the strayer, the pan, whatever the hell you want to call him, dancing around my little flute, you know. Or I could be the one I would really like to play, which is Puck, the trickster. So, you know, you have to know some culture, but you don't have to know all culture. If you're going to be a theater actor, first off, hats off to you. I'm very proud of you going into that field, because theater is the hardest acting that you can possibly do. I personally would never sell out on Broadway, ever, or Times Square. I'd be sitting in a box if I was a theater actor, because no one would come see me, because I would drop lines like you wouldn't believe. And I'm not talking about dropping them like dropping a beat. They would say something and I'm supposed to respond, and I'll be like in a dead haze. And theater's live. There's no editing, there's no going back, and the show must go on. So you better be quick on your feet, and you better remember the line before your lines, and the lines after your lines, so you can remember the lines that come after that. I ain't got that kind of damn brain power. But what I can do is edit. So when we're making a movie, you've come a very long way to fight me. Other side. That's right. But I'm not the one that's gonna die. You're gonna die. I've come all this way to kill you. And the other guy's like, bring it on, bitch. So now you get the gist of that. Now let's say the director didn't like that. Snip. Let's do it again. I'm looking for Tosan Powell. I am Tosan Powell. Good. I heard you would not let my brother Tommy get the rice cakes. As you see, I just fucked up. I'm supposed to be on that side. So, they would cut that. Let's try it again. I am looking for Tosan Powell. I am Tosan Powell. How can I help you? Tosan Powell. I heard you would not give my brother Tommy the rice cakes. I have come 2,000 miles to kick your ass and take your rice cakes. My rice cakes are stale. That is why I did not give your brother the rice cakes. So if you want to fight me for stale rice cakes, you've come a very long way to die. Tosan Powell, I'm not the one that's gonna die. You're gonna die. And I'm going to eat your stale rice cakes because my village is poor and hungry and we don't give a damn about it being stale. There you go. So now you got the big battle, and in the end, Tosan Powell on the ground, because a hungry man gonna take them goddamn rice cakes, even if they stale. And FYI, I apologize to anybody Asian that I just offended, because a lot of Asian people that I know hate fucking rice cakes. Alright? Just like a lot of Native Americans I know ain't that fond of corn. I hate corn. I honestly, truly to God, hate corn. I used to like it. Then I did some research. I don't like corn anymore. Except for popcorn. I love popcorn. Popcorn's awesome. You know. And they also have many different flavors, where corn you have one flavor. Except for maize, then you have that flavor, so you have two flavors. and they both taste like hell unless you got a lot of salt. Sorry, I'm on an offensive mode tonight. So when it comes down to acting, you have TV, you have streaming, you have movies, and you have theater. So you have a conglomerate of where you want to go. But when you go into these acting schools, they're going to make you learn things like chemistry or how to blow stuff up that you're never going to actually use. Now, if you're going to play a scientist, it's your job as the actor to go shadow somebody, to do your research. If I'm going to play somebody like The Rock, I'm going to go and ask him if I can shadow him. I'm going to help get him to teach me the training regiment so I can play like I'm the him on TV. Now, granted, I can never be The Rock because he's like a whole foot and some change ahead of me. I'm only 5'3". I could probably play the Little Rock. But the point of the matter is, I love you, Dwayne, but the point of the matter is, when it comes down to acting, you have to have your P's and Q's straight. You have to have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, because there are a lot of doors that can open and shut in the blink of an eye. But when it comes to acting, you have to understand that if you're on a streaming service, you probably have a little bit more work than most people. Because after everything's done and you're on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, it's off to the races. You get another season, you're back at work. Now, it's time for me to break it down and get into the downside of acting. Alright, so here's my fear of acting. My one fear is that I'll get one good acting job, the show may last 2 or 3 seasons, and then no matter what I do, I may never get work again. They'll probably be like, we didn't really like your show. We heard you were an asshole, so we don't really want to give you work. And then you go to the next show and the next show, and you get the same thing. And that's always a possibility. And then you'll have people job shaming you, and you'll never get over it, and you'll have all kinds of problems. And a lot of actors go through that. So my ideal job for acting is simple. Get on a TV show that's been lasting forever, like Days of Our Lives, and work that bitch until you die. Because that's like the best thing that you can do. You get on a long-lasting TV show. You get one of those lifetime contracts where your character you're on for like about a year, and your character has good development, and then every now and again they'll send your character to someplace else, and then you come back. And I'm okay with that. I'm truly okay with that. Where if I'm on a show and I can't leave the show, and my character is not a star, but they're only on every now and again, but I'm still on the show. So I don't want that. I want to be able to be on a show and be on TV in your homes, and you'd be like, yeah, he's playing a good character. We like his character. And I don't want to be one of those actors who get too big for my britches and be like, all right, fucking, I'm walking off. No. I'm there to the end. Now, it also depends on your type of show. So let's say you get on a Power Ranger show, and you're a Power Ranger. Well, the good news is you're a Power Ranger. The bad news is that you only get one season. It's been very few Power Ranger shows that have had more than one season with the same cast. Like that first cast, who went in for like a year and a half, maybe 2, almost 3 years, and then they started getting replaced one by one, and these would later be revealed to be money issues. I'm not that actor. If I'm on for 2 seasons, I'm on for 3 seasons. And it also depends on the show content. It's kind of like Supernatural. I love Supernatural. If they ever gave me a job and it was a spinoff, and it's like, look, we're going to give you a spinoff on Supernatural, same principle, you're going to be doing this, this, and this, but you will make pop-up appearances on the original show, but you'll mostly be on the old show of your own, and you go through that. And that's cool, because I will be there until that motherfucker is canceled. And then if the show is canceled, but the other show is not canceled, I would like to be able to pop back and forth on the other show. And a lot of actors, they don't do that shit. They get too big for their britches and they hang them up. Not me. I'm hungry. I want work. So whatever acting job I get with whatever show I get, the contract has got to be ironclad that I'm here until the show's over. I'm here until the show is canceled. I'm here until the show is over. you got to pay me twice to kill my character off because I'm going to need more work. Because see, being in front of the camera is addictive. Which is another thing that you have to love. You have to love being in front of the camera. Now for the truly dark side of being in the entertainment business. Your privacy. That's gone. Your kids' privacy. That's gone. And this is the thing, you have to accept this because without your fans, belly be empty. Alright? Rich house on the hills, psh, that's gone. You know, you have to spend your money wisely when you're an actor. Don't buy 1,000 things that you don't fucking need. You need a house. One on the East Coast, one on the West Coast. So wherever you work, and if you're an actor that's working in Florida, you buy a house in Florida. If you're working in New York, you buy a house in New York. If you're working in Canada, and if you can find the legal ramifications that will allow you to buy a house in Canada without having to marry a woman that is Canadian so that you can have a house, then you do that. So now I'm up to 4 houses because, you know, you got one on the West Coast, you got 2 on the East Coast because there is work in Atlanta and Florida and in New York, so and in North or South Carolina, whichever one Wilmington is. So there is possible work there. But I don't want to be spending money on hotels and apartments. You know, if I'm working there, I want to live there so that I won't be like, well, confined to, okay, well, I go home, I go to work. I plan on doing that anyway. But at the same time, I don't want to have to spend extra money on an apartment. Now, if I got a 1-room apartment and it's cheap while I'm working there, okay, that's cool. But you know, in the long run, I kind of want some permanent stake somewhere where I don't have to go too far. And then I always try to have a retirement home. You know, that way when I'm all said and done and my retirement home is paid for, and as long as I have enough reserves to keep paying taxes, then I'm good. You have to remember that people will take your money. People will also use your image with and without your permission. You know, there's a lot of dark sides to the acting thing. But for me, it's totally worth it because it's what I want to do. Because making movies makes me happy. You know, and that's the thing. If this business does not make you happy, then you probably have no business in this business. Now the problem with me is I can't get my foot in the door no matter what I do. I'm basically reliving Bruce Lee's life. Everybody's passing me by. Everybody's getting more attention. And doors are opening left and right for them. And that door I'm standing in front of is made out of adamantium, vibranium, and organic steel. And my ass just ain't strong enough to punch it down. Which is why I'm kicking that shit at the hinges. But you know, the thing is, as an actor, you also have to be polite to your fans. Even if you don't like them, you still have to be polite to them because they are the reason why you are eating. They are the reason why you are happy. And this is 23 minutes long, so I'm going to have to make a second video. I'm sorry. Let me apologize to you now. I'm sorry.